Although many athletes might not say so, and you might not think it, eating is a very important part of being a successful and competitive player in any sport. Actually, eating is a vital way to be healthy in multiple ways, but that's definitely true when you are trying to be the best of the best in swimming, baseball, football, running, and yes, basketball. When you are taking a sport seriously, you actually have to eat more than an average person. Usually, a normal guy or gal needs about 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day, but that number can be a lot more for those playing professional sports. That's because loaded into those calories are energy, lots and lots of energy. When the human body consumes calories, it can convert them into fuel, the energy that keeps you going. So if you are running a marathon or swimming competitively or even playing a game of one-on-one ball, you need energy to sustain you, and you get that from food. But you won't get it from just any old food. If you expect to play like Kobe while eating junk food, you're going to be sorely disappointed. If you are eating to succeed, you need to do so in a very specific manner. The main types of calories come in three forms: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Carbs are the biggest source of calories. Simple carbohydrates such as fruits, milk, and vegetables are easy for your body to break down. That means they are a better source of energy. Fat is a key fuel source in small amounts. When taken in correctly, fat should be more than 30% of your daily calories, and proteins should make up about 10 to 15% of your daily calorie intake. Protein is found in foods like eggs, milk, beans, meat, and nuts. Some athletes swear by lots and lots of protein because it has been shown to help build muscle. But overdoing protein can be a bad thing too, and can be harmful to your health. Now, as you can see, there is a lot to keep in mind when you are trying to find a diet that is right for a successful career as an athlete. No one knows that better than the guys in the NBA. From LeBron James to Kawhi Leonard to Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, all of these players are very careful about the foods that they put into their bodies. It is a pivotal part of becoming a champion. So what does someone like Damian Lillard and Tyler Hero eat to stay in the best shape and help lead their team to a championship? Is your diet anything like Giannis's? You might be surprised at what these basketball pros eat and don't eat. Now, you may have heard that Olympic legend Michael Phelps used to eat 12,000 calories on a day of a swimming tournament. That jaw-dropping number is accurate. The gold medalist was eating more than you could possibly imagine. But even then, he was being very selective about what he consumed. He wasn't just eating anything that lays in front of him, and he certainly wasn't scarfing down the ice cream and candy bars. It was all very measured and deliberate. The same is true for basketball players in the NBA, but they don't eat nearly as much as Phelps did. While he was taking in about 12,000 calories a day, on average, most NBA players consume about 2,000 to 4,500 calories a day. Now, while that is higher than what you and I eat, it's not as astronomical as you might imagine. So what is it that they're eating, and what are they avoiding? Well, as mentioned before, there are three different types of calories: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Basketball players are consuming those just like we are, but their diet is a tool in their belt to get their body in the best shape possible, so they're not just eating to get full. When it comes to carbs, most NBA players focus specifically on complex carbohydrates. These are a special type of carbs that are slower releasing in the body. That means they are able to have a longer effect, and players can sustain a strong level of play for a longer amount of time, like the 48 minutes of a regulation NBA game. Veggies, rice, pasta, bread, and fruit are the sorts of carbs that you'll see Kyle Lowry, James Harden, and other NBA stars eating. But they will also put a lot of emphasis on protein too. That's because a diet consisting of a lot of proteins helps the body recover and keep a high level of play. NBA pros also eat a lot of healthy fats, which are unsaturated and include avocado, salmon, flaxseed, and olive oil. And if you're a fan of sodas and fizzy soft drinks, you won't be able to make it in the league, because those are two things that NBA players stay clear of. But there's a lot more on the NBA no-no list. Players also avoid chocolates, junk snack foods, and other things that are considered empty calories with little to no nutritional value. And while these guys are welcome at just about any club or bar in the country, they won't be overindulging much, because excessive amounts of alcohol is definitely not recommended. The days of Dennis Rodman flying to Vegas and getting ridiculously drunk are a thing of the past. Modern NBA players are much more careful about what they put into their bodies. If you were hanging out with LeBron James, one of the best basketball players of all time, what would you guys eat? Well, King James has actually opened up before in the past about what he consumes on game day, and you can see that he treats eating right like a job. So what's on the menu for the kid from Akron? In the morning, LeBron starts his day like many of us do, with an omelet and pancakes. LeBron is particularly fond of an egg white omelet, smoked salmon, and gluten-free pancakes topped with berries. Yum, that does sound like a wonderful breakfast. As you can see, the meal leans heavy on protein, such as egg whites and salmon. And as mentioned, that's good for muscle building and quick recovery. After hitting the gym, LeBron moves on to lunch, which looks a lot like breakfast in some ways. He usually sticks with salmon again, as well as a whole wheat pasta and vegetables. And that should hold him over until he has his pre-game meal of the old trusty and reliable peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now you might be questioning that choice. Why would LeBron enjoy the same sort of sandwich that a kindergartner does? But in recent years, the PB&J has become a really popular thing among many NBA stars. Rumor has it that the peanut butter and jelly craze was started by Kevin Garnett back in the 2007-2008 season. He attributed his success to the easily digestible and endlessly yummy PB&J sandwich. On paper, peanut butter and jelly on bread makes a lot of sense. It's about 400 calories with 60 carbs, and the sodium in the meal replenishes what's lost because of excessive sweating. Plus, it's just delicious and puts players in the right frame of mind. So the next time you whip up a PB&J, remember that you're eating the same thing that Kevin Garnett and LeBron James do. In the midst of a heated game, LeBron and other NBA players still need a snack. They need energy after all, especially if the game is particularly rough. That is why you'll see that James and many other players spend their halftime eating some apple slices with almond butter. That fills their stomachs, gives them another boost of healthy energy before entering the second half of a game. Now when the game is over and the celebrating or commiserating has begun, the eating doesn't stop. This is a full-time job after all. Most players will enjoy a post-game protein shake filled with protein powder, fruit, and almond milk. Not only does it taste good, but it helps repair the body and get it ready for traveling, training, and the next game. You have to remember that a basketball player's body has been through a lot during those 48 minutes on the court. It needs to be replenished in the right ways so it can do it all over again in just a few hours. Showering, stretching, and drinking a protein shake are all part of the normal post-game routine for the best of the best in the league. But there is a reward at the end of the long day for LeBron and his peers: a scrumptious dinner. LeBron is particularly fond of ending his day with chicken parmesan, an arugula salad, and a nice healthy glass of Cabernet wine. You can't argue with those choices. Not only are they tasty, they're also good for the body. And there isn't a lot of ice cream, chocolate, or potato chips in the life of a basketball player. You also won't see a lot of processed foods or deep-fried goodies. No, they do things in the smartest, healthiest way, and it pays off. The diet that we just went over was what LeBron stuck to during each of his championship years, and you can see how that paid off. LeBron and other NBA players know that if you treat your body right, it is capable of some incredible things. So do you think that you can eat like an NBA superstar? Are you ready for protein shakes and lots of salmon? What do you think of the diet of a basketball player? Leave us a comment and like and subscribe for more cutting-edge NBA info.